Hello. It's been a few minutes. I've done a thing, and I thought I would share. And then I'll have to go back into doing some more jelly printing with alcohol ink, and you'll see why. I got some mystery boxes from Altenew. They had a really good sale. These were some of the more expensive boxes, so I thought I would share what I got, because I know that it's kind of curious, when you see a mystery box that's $400, you're like, ooh, I wonder what comes in that. So, I'm not able to break down what came in each box because I got 3 different ones, because they just put it all in a box to ship it. They don't separate it out and tell you what went with what box. But if you read through the website description for the different boxes, it says what came with each one, and you may be able to figure out what came with each one based on the descriptions of the items. So I leave that up to the individual if they want to spend the time doing that. But the first box that I got was the blush box. It was $406.76 regularly. I paid $142.40, I think. The bloom box was $245.78, and I paid $98.30. And the delight box was $146.89, and I spent $66.10. So I'm going to first go through the items that I'm not going to keep, just to get them out of the way. And I'm going to try to move quickly because I don't want this video to go on and on and on. So, also another thing that I want to mention, I'm really not about doing unboxings and whatevers. This is just to give an idea to people that are interested in the higher priced mystery boxes from Altenew, to get an idea of what comes in them so that they can determine whether it's worth the money or not. I will say, I personally would not have bought them if they had not been on sale. And if I had paid full price, I probably wouldn't like them as much as I do. So, with that, 2 of the boxes came with alcohol markers. This is just one set of 4. And I can say that their alcohol... Sorry, I didn't realize that was going to be so loud. Their alcohol markers actually do work pretty well. I have used them. I typically use Copic, but I got a box of these in another mystery box, and I was curious, so I opened them and used them, and then I sent them to a friend of mine. So that's where these are going, is to a friend of mine. So these items will get used, just not necessarily by me. This is the enamel florals, and that's what they look like. Some of these just kind of had a 70s vibe to me, and that's really not my vibe. So that's a lot of the reason that I'm not keeping the items that I'm gifting, is because it's kind of cartoonish and almost like a Smurf vibe. I don't know how to describe it. That's about as close as I can get. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the Smurfs, but I really don't want to do cards and art in that style. So this is the Bloom and Evolve set, and this is the die set, and that gives you an idea of what the stamps look like in that. And I will say that their boxes come with old and new product. So a lot of the product that I'm showing is showing copyrighted from, this last set was from 2024. The next one that I'm showing is from 23. So you're getting a range of items So the stuff that's coming in the mystery boxes isn't necessarily just old stuff that they're trying to get rid of. A lot of it's pretty current stuff. So this is the Mega Party Greetings, and that's a sample of what you can do with that. And Lemonade Party, who's ever heard of one of those? But I can say that if I was ever invited to one, I would really look forward to it. Who doesn't want to sit on a porch and some rocking chairs with a pitcher of lemonade, chatting it up with the girls? Not that I have girls to chat things up with, but, you know. This is a Build-A-Flower Layla set, and the Build-A-Flower always comes with a die. And for people that aren't familiar with Altenew, I'll give a little peeky here. They're larger stamp sets especially, but some of the smaller ones do too, will have sample cards so that you get an idea of how to use the stamps or how to lay them out in color combinations. And then they also give you smaller image with the different inks that they've used to create the images, and then the layering guide to show how the stamps fit together to make the image. And down here's the final image. And some of them will include coordinating information, what other things would go well with it or pair with it. I don't see that I don't think that I've ever seen that on the Build-A-Flower sets, but some of the sets do have that information. So, just thought that might be kind of helpful for people that aren't familiar with Altenew to know what they're getting. I would say Altenew to me is more like a boutique craft store, because their processes are a bit more expensive, but their designs tend to be very well thought out, and you're pretty much guaranteed consistently good results. Out of all the layering stamps that I've gotten from them, and that's quite a few. I'm sorry, I'm a floral girl. I love florals, and, getting them to look photorealistic almost is just, I love that. So, anyway, out of all the ones that I've gotten, I don't think that I've gotten any that were absolutely impossible to figure out how to line up and get pretty good results. So, this is the Mushroom Greeting die and stamp. And this is a die or stamp and stencil, the Doodle Bouquet. And that's a rather large. Look at my man hands over there. And this is what some of the samples look like with that. And that's what the stamps, or the stencils, look like. I like their layering stencils too. They're pretty nice to work with. They're very easy to figure out. This is one of the older mini Delight sets. This is from 2021. The mini Delights that they've got now, and their subscription thing, because I'm subscribed to that, is a larger set. It's a larger die and stamp set that comes in that. So this is an older version of that. And I have this one too. And this is one of the few that I had struggled a little bit in getting to layer upright. But it was the first time I'd used it. I didn't try. Usually if you try something repeatedly, you can get it to look reasonably good. I'm judging off of my first time using it. How hard was it? So, this is a die set here with the keyhole system. And if you're not familiar with what that is, the dies will have numbers and a keyhole to help you layer them up. So you'd put this one down first, and then you would layer up the second one and just match up the keyhole shape, and then do it with the third one, and then you can see through the keyhole as you keep layering up, and then you start putting your embellishment pieces on from there to cover up the keyhole and whatnot. I've got a bird die that's like that, and I mean, that design there was simple enough that you probably didn't need a keyhole system to figure it out, but the bird one, I found it particularly helpful. So, and this is a botanical honeycomb stencil, and that's gives you an idea of what that looks like. And Cupcake Cosmos, and this looks like it was a collaboration. The Mint Gardener, I don't know what that is. Might have to search what that is, but I've got plenty of florals, so I don't particularly need this. It is pretty though. So that covers the stuff that I'm not going to keep. Now to get into the stuff that I am keeping. Get to the stuff in the back here first. This is the cardstock that was listed in the description, and you can see that when I saw cardstock, I thought it was going to be a full pad of cardstock, you know, full size. This clearly is not that. These are 3x6 and will run through the Altenew mini die cut machine. I tried it through my Sizzix Sidekick. It's a little too wide for that, but it does fit through a Gemini Go. So, and that's just a matter of convenience to have the card stock to the appropriate size for the machine that you're using. Saves you time from having to cut it down. Also, each set came with some envelopes. This is a blush color here, and this, I don't know, it's looking a little purple on screen, but it's like a muted midnight kind of color. But they will definitely get used. Envelopes are getting ridiculously expensive, even just for basic envelopes. I get them for paying my rent, and I about died at how much, even on sale, on a clearance sale, it was ridiculous what I was paying for them. This is an Elegant Sayings Sentiment set with the matching dies. Now, I don't have anything like this in my sentiment collection, so that's kind of nice. It's not something that I would have purposely bought, but having it now, I think that I could probably make good use of those. That's kind of the benefit of a mystery box, is you end up with some items that you wouldn't have thought to buy or had much interest in initially, but then once you have it in your hand and you play around with it, you realize you like it. From some of the previous mystery boxes that I've gotten from Altenew, I've gotten several stamp sets like that, you know, seeing them on the website really just didn't interest me much, but then when I pulled them out and stamped and played with them, I was like, you know, I kind of actually do like these. So, this is the Comfy Couch. This really doesn't match with anything else that I got, so it's kind of odd, but I do have things that I could use that with in my stash. Crafting Essentials. Again, I've got some other crafty dies or stamps from another brand that I think this would probably fit with. I got a lot of this. All 3 boxes came with quite a few of the smaller stamp sets. This is the Dainty Watering Can. And that's what that looks like. The smaller sets would be really good for plain and simple cards. Mini Poppy. And Inked Rosebud. I really like this one. I love roses. And, okay. One of the boxes came with a washi paper sticker set, and that's what this is. It's just months of the year and some icons. That just seemed kind of random. I don't know. This is a sentiment set that I really liked. I just really didn't feel like paying for it. Well, I guess I did kind of pay for it, getting it in the mystery box, but I'm not mad that I got it. I'll just say that. I really like the font. You can always use a hello and thank you, and even a hugs. And these are how large they look in real life. And it's got the actual die and then the shadow to it. And I always like it when sentiments have both to it. And then that's what it looks like on a card. And this is a zero waste die. I've got a couple of other ones of this, and they're kind of useful. You can die cut out a whole bunch of something all at one time, and the thing that you're cutting it out of, you can also use. So for instance, you could cut this out of a piece of white cardstock and color in all the different hearts and use those as shaker bits, and use what you cut the hearts out of as the top, and all the little heart shapes will have the stitching in it. So that's just one idea that you can use that with. This is a dotted starburst debossing die, cover die, and that's what the image on the package looks like. And again, this is not something that I would have picked up on my own, but the dotting and stuff, I don't know, for some reason it makes me think of stitching on a quilt. So I've got a few quilt type dies, so I thought I would try this with that and see what I thought, how that looked. Couple more embossing folders. Rustling Leaves 3D embossing folder. I kind of like the circle in the center. I think that would make some really nice simple cards. Organic linen. Though the print on this, it almost reminds me of burlap more than linen. I've got another linen one from Stampin' Up! That's a smaller, finer print. Well, I mean, it's an embossing folder, so I guess it doesn't really print, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, botanical bookmark. I'm keeping this because I think it'd be kind of fun to make some bookmarks for the local library. And it's got a few different sentiments in it that are good things come to those who read. The world belongs to those who read. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Snuggle up and read read, lead, and succeed. So I thought that would be kind of a fun project to do. And hold on, those need a little bit of a explanation. Botanical Illustrations die set and stamp set. And the golden feather. And this is something that I've wanted for a long time, and I've not seen in stock or on sale. And it's from 2017, so I don't even know that they have it listed on the website anymore, to be quite honest with you. But I had seen it somewhere and wanted it and then couldn't find it. So I'm very glad that I got that in one of these boxes. So it's not all recent stuff, but it's not all old stuff. I mean, almost everything that I've shown is pretty recent, and it's still available. Some of it, like, I think this is, out of all the mystery boxes that I've gotten from them, I think this might have been the only thing that has been as old as 2017. Everything else that I've gotten has been pretty recent. Another thing is the paint and stamp flowers. And I know this looks kind of weird. And it's got a die set for the sentiments. You're thinking, what in the world? How do you get flowers out of that? Well, this is... They've also got a butterfly set too. But the dies with it, it's just the bodies of the butterflies. So when I opened my mystery boxes and saw these, I was like, what in the world? But I think it's kind of ingenious. This is what the sample card looks like. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing with these. What it is you'll use the watercolors, and then it shows the different shapes that you need to make with the watercolors. And then where you place the stamps to turn them into flowers and leaves. So, if you're into watercoloring and you're just watercoloring stamped images and you're wanting to move up from that and get into actually doing some of your own watercoloring without a predefined shape, then the paint and stamp line might be something to look at. So I'm kind of looking forward to using those. And hold on a second to show you what the butterflies look like. You can see here where the wings are just watercolored, and then they've taken one of the die cuts for the body to create the butterfly. And they've got several samples of how to do that with the different shapes that you need to paint out to create the image. But then they've also got the actual images to practice with too. So they're very loose looking. So I look forward to using those. The Botanical Illustrations stamp also has a matching stencil that goes with it to color the image in. And then 2 of the boxes had glitter washi tape. And one of them had watercolor paper. And that's the smooth side. I think it's about 10 sheets of it, and it's 5x7. And that's the rough side. And then they all came with enamel dots and gems. So that's one. This is another. And I got 2 of this because if you spend over a certain amount, you get free gifts. And one of these was a free gift. And then here are the gems that came with. And I want you to see how large these large ones are. They're just like ridiculous. I mean, they're like... I'm trying to get my camera to focus here. You want to focus? Okay, that's about as good as it's going to get, I guess. But they're like a 1/4 inch off of the page. These large ones are. And you can see the small ones are much more manageable. And these came in one. And these came in one. I really like these. They've got kind of an iridescent, rainbowy, oil slick look to them. And each box came with an ink pad. And one of them came with dual-sided markers. I don't know that I would use these for brush lettering. I tried and I wasn't terribly pleased with it for that. They're too flimsy for that. I mean, they're good for markers, don't get me wrong, but I'm very particular with what I use for brush lettering, because I tend to get very shaky when I'm not applying much pressure, so I have to have a firm nib, and these aren't firm. So, and then this is the other tip, really good for journaling. So they would also be good for coloring over your stamp and then misting it and stamping it down. And a couple more things here. Alcohol inks. Hence my saying that I'd be jelly plating again soon. Because I got to use those up because I don't have anywhere to put them. And then a shimmer spray. I've got a couple of other bottles of that. I've not used them yet, though. And one of the sets also came with watercolor tubes. I'm going to presume that it's the stamp and paint ones that came with the watercolor tubes. But olive green and lemon yellow, which is an odd combination for butterflies. But something to note on their watercolor tubes is they list the pigment colors and the pigment information, the white fastness, and the transparency of the color. So that's good information to have. And one of the boxes listed that a tool came with it, and I'm guessing this was the tool because I didn't see anything else in the box that would qualify. It's a stamp conditioner. And if you're just using line stamps, the stamp conditioner things probably wouldn't be of much service to you. But, so like if all your stamps are like this, I wouldn't worry about the stamp conditioner. But if you have a lot of stamps that have a lot of filled in space like these, then those are very nice to have, the stamp conditioners. They, you rub them over top of the stamp and it fills it in. So the stamp, when you go to stamp, it comes out more even. So it's not quite as splotchy and the ink doesn't bead up on it as much. So, and then in addition to the enamel dots, a couple of the other free items was the washi tape. Got 4 rolls of washi tape and an ink blending brush, which the free items will change based on when you're making your purchases. So that's not always what you're going to get. But anyway, I hope that anybody that's considered getting the higher priced mystery boxes has a better understanding of what you may or may not get in them. Um, I know in previous boxes I've gotten like the Craft Your Life kits. I've gotten a whole Craft Your Life kit in one of my mystery boxes before. And some of the boxes, I think maybe out of all the boxes that I've bought, one was kind of disappointing. But usually I get enough out of them to have made it at least fun to open and have product from it that I'll actually make use of. One other thing that I got in one of them, the blush box came with an apron, and this is the apron that it came with. This is the bottom of the apron. And it's got a couple pockets. And then at the top, it says Craft Your Life Altenew. And it's a nice fabric. It's not a canvas. So it's not stiff and something that would be uncomfortable to wear. And their other aprons that I've got from them are the same way. So that covers everything that I got out of these. And I hope this information was useful and helpful in discussing these boxes and what to expect. And yeah, that's all there is to it, I guess. Hope everyone has a good day. Bye.